That is a fair ball, and out is Simmons. The throw to first. That's going to be a double play. Aaron Harang's going to argue. Fredi Gonzalez is going to come out and plead his case with Ron Culpa. Yadier Molina might have stolen one for St. Louis, and he starts a double play.
Molina bounced out there and got the ball before it hit the ground the second time. Foul territory, but it spins forward now. The point is, where did he catch it? Did he catch it after the ball got into fair territory? Doesn't look like it.
And now Fredi Gonzalez is ejected, and he's asking for Ron Culpa to check the divot.
It's pretty much saying, how in the world could it be fair if the ball hit back here? Third base umpire should have had a good look at that too. Ball hits in foul territory. Molina springs up and runs 2 steps to get around Harang to get into fair territory. And it will be a double play.
And Fredi wants a little more.
Derek Cooper is the crew chief, maybe checking to see if this is a reviewable play.
It's my understanding that batted balls on the infield are not reviewable unless they go beyond first or third base.
They have to be in the outfield. Who has a real short fuse and likes to take his mask off and yell at people. Yelling at Fredi Gonzalez because Fredi wanted to know where that pitch was, and he just threw Fredi out. Doug Eddings, he needs to take some anger management courses because he has a problem.
Nobody in the ballpark knew that Fredi Gonzalez said anything except Doug Eddings.
Yeah. I want to tell you something too. Eddings is the guy that was behind the plate the night Johnny Estrada jumped up and yelled that expletive at Eddings and got thrown out of the game because Eddings was egging him on.
Whether the pitch was a strike or not, you cannot argue balls and strikes. That's grounds for immediate ejection, and Eddings obliged Fredi Gonzalez, who was tossed. He missed inside, and Wood thought it was strike 3, and he barks at C.B. Buckner, who points a finger, and now Fredi Gonzalez will come out. A bases loaded walk.
He had him set up inside, and he made a really good pitch. CB's going to throw Fredi out, and it was only a matter of time when this guy's behind the plate.
A bases loaded walk to Jason Worth. Scores Rendon. Washington has the lead. Fredi Gonzalez ejected for arguing balls and strikes. And we'll have to look at the replay and see how close the pitch to Worth was.
Brian McCann had his 2 cents worth too. Had him set up inside, blistered it inside. Make of that what you will. On the edge, he could have called it either way. Alex Wood beside himself. But with C.B. Buckner, you just never know.
And obviously, he's getting grief from the dugout as Larry Vanover.
And he's just thrown somebody out. Larry Vanover has, not sure who he threw out, but here is Fredi Gonzalez out to argue. And of course, anytime you argue a ball or strike, you're automatically thrown out of the game.
Yeah, the umpire will give you some leeway, but you're absolutely right. By rule, not permitted to argue balls and strikes, especially if you say the magic word. And that obviously was a quick ejection from Larry Vanover, so he obviously heard something.
And it was Fredi Gonzalez, so he has been ejected. Arguing that last pitch from Tim Hudson tonight.
Earlier about the mechanical
adjustment. It's paid off. And a breaking ball is a high strike 3 call, and Freeman snaps his bat, and he's thrown out of the game. Freeman snapped his bat, slammed it at the plate, and was immediately ejected by Tim Timmons. And Fredi Gonzalez can't believe the quick hook.
Nor can I.
You can get fined for throwing your equipment. Fredi's got it too. But that's a quick hook.
The bat snapped, and so did the Braves' first baseman. Ground ball to second. Reyes will try to turn, and got Hayward. Oh my! Fredi's going to come argue this. Hayward tossed the helmet as he was called out on the double play by the first base umpire, Las Diaz.
That wasn't even close. And if Laz had seen Jason Hayward throw his helmet, they would have thrown him out. But that was a brutal call. When Jason hit the ball just before it got to Bonifacio, the ball kind of bounced up softly, and I thought that might be just enough to slow down the double play, and it was.
And you said earlier tonight that Diaz takes a very distant position from the first base bag over there. Would that have an effect?
Could have. This will give us a good look right here. Safe.
Are you kidding me? That ball's that far inside, Fredi. That's a ball.
And Fredi Gonzalez arguing balls and strikes. Gets the heave-ho by Hunter Wendelstedt.
I think this goes back to the pitch they didn't get called on Mike Stanton. And I don't even know if it came from Fredi, but Fredi took up the cause.
Is scheduled after Lagares. And the bunt is hit to third. Chris is going to go to second. First, not in time. Very close.
So if Andrelton's case, he was coming across the bag to stay away from it, and they could review it differently, but now as we see, they're going to take a look.
Came off early.
The call is overturned, and here comes Fredi Gonzalez.
Mike Everett is the crew chief, and on a challenge play, you're not allowed to argue, but Fredi may be wanting an explanation. Why are you allowed to challenge that? Because that was not a bad throw, as described by Tom Hart. That was not a bad throw. It was a neighborhood play.
So it's going to be scored a fielder's choice. And did I hear them say E6? There's an error also charged to Simmons, I suppose, for coming off the bag too early. And so Fredi is ejected. The call was overturned.
I think what
And now the Mets are in business with 2 on and nobody out in the 9th inning. So Tom, Fredi Gonzalez wanted an explanation. He got one, but didn't like the answer he received.
He's going. Breaking ball, little flare toward right. Hayward diving try!
Did he get it? Yes, he did. Hayward with the grab. The umpire down the right field line, C.B. Buckner, calls out, and that's going to end the inning, and it's going to draw a huge Phillies argument.
He didn't get caught just hanging on to it with Victorino running. That appeared to be a trap. Great effort on the layout, but it appears to be a trap. That is not reviewable.
And they're going to overrule the call or change the call. And now Fredi Gonzalez will come out and argue.
I am really surprised that they did this. I am really surprised. It is, without a doubt, the right call, but normally umpires don't do this to another umpire.
And you know what Fredi's saying. How can you overrule C.B. Buckner, who was closest to the play? Whichever umpire made the call was not nearly as close to the play as the first base umpire Buckner was.
I don't blame Fredi at all for this. Dale Scott's the crew chief, and he's taking the heat. But I am really surprised they overruled their own on a play like that. The other part of it was that Victorino was running, so they have to guess where they're going to put him, and that's going to be third base.
So Fredi Gonzalez is ejected for the fourth time as the Braves manager. Just St. Pete. Right unloads deep left center. Reed Johnson sprinting, won't get there. It's off the warning track and off the fence.
Get it in. They're not calling it a double.
It's going to be a triple for David Wright. Scoring is Murphy. Reed Johnson put his hands up, but again the third base umpire Chad Fairchild signaled safe. And the runners for the Mets just kept rolling merrily around the base paths.
Yeah, but you throw your hands up. You're not the umpire. You got to still get the ball in. You can't quit on the play. This is not subject to review, but just like the home run that he ruled off the bat of Gaddis that hit off the bat of Ugla that hit that railing. That one hit off the screen over the orange line. But you have to get the ball in. Evan Gaddis was backing this play up. Just because Reed threw his hands in the air is no reason to not get the ball in.
So at the moment, it's a triple and a run scored. They've not put that run up on the scoreboard quite yet. It is a 6-4 game as Fredi Gonzalez asks for an explanation of that ground rule here. And Fredi just got tossed.
That's just not reviewable, and Chad Fairchild was not going to ask for help, and maybe that's what got Fredi's ire up, was that he didn't ask for anybody's help. At least a consultation, even with the second base umpire Paul Schreiber, might have been in effect there, and Fredi's not done. Somebody in the dugout told Fredi, hey, we just saw the replay. It definitely hit that railing, and he may have gone out there to say, hey, we know you made a mistake. Are you sure you don't want to try and correct it?
And the apparent answer is no. So Fredi Gonzalez ejected at this ballpark. As Janish gets hit with a breaking ball to keep the inning alive.
Bringing him back.
They saying he didn't try to get out of the way. Fredi Gonzalez is going to come argue that. That's a big play in this game. Or if Giannis was awarded first base, the Braves would bring the potential tying run to the plate. Angel Hernandez made the call.
I think it was the right call, too. We had a better angle than Fredi had. But watch his front leg, Paul. He was turning and bending.
Yeah, but I don't know.
There's history here.
Doesn't everybody have some history with Angel?
Yes, they do. He's from that C.B. Buckner School of Umpiring.
One out. And Nate's still grumbling about strike two, and he's very close. Remember, Braves are very short-handed, and now McLeod is thrown out of the game, which is not good news at all. And now Fredi's been tossed.
That is bad.
It was strike two that made McLeod upset.
It did look low, and right here Nate started to say something that just bit his lip. But then on the strikeout, he couldn't contain himself.
Jerry Meals looking into the Atlanta dugout, waiting for Fredi Gonzalez to depart. He too was ejected. And Fredi now realizes that as he looks over the lineup card. He'll hand it over to bench coach Carlos Tosca.
I don't think Fredi knows he threw him out.
Fredi Gonzalez comes out. Hayward got drilled. De Jesus gets hit.
Chris Conroy letting Fredi Gonzalez know. Oh, he threw him out. Told him not to come out and argue. Jerry Lane was coming in to maybe try to intercept it. Fredi quickly out of the dugout to defend his pitcher after his right fielder got nailed with a pitch in the top of the inning.
Rule this. The first base umpire, Ed Rapuano, has said, and he didn't bunt at the ball, he was pulling back.
Fredi say it hit him, and Ed said no, he bunted at the ball. But no, he didn't bunt at the ball. He clearly pulled the bat back as it caught him on the arm.
Here's another look.
He's there, he brings the bat back. He never bunted at the ball. Comes back, he comes back.
Did they throw Fredi out of the game? Because Joe West right now is writing something down. And it looks like he has been ejected.